still.
And Gabe, you still haven't taken your pug in.
Oh, we're live.
Alrighty.
All right, here we
2,
go.
1, let's go. What's going on, everybody? We're here, episode 7, a special matinee edition on President's Day. It's me, Carlos. We got the coach here, Lisa.
Hi.
Producer Perez behind the camera. The dogs are somewhere, and we're on our way. Coach, we're back on our Monday schedule. How you feeling this afternoon?
Oh, I'm feeling great. You know, I'm happy that it's President's Day. Who's your favorite president?
My favorite of all time.
Yes.
Am I allowed to answer that honestly?
Yes, you're allowed to answer it honestly.
I'm gonna go Reagan.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big Reagan fan. I thought Reagan was fantastic, especially, you know, with the height of the tension in the world, and when he had that wall torn down with Gorbachev. I mean, that's, you know, all time one of the greatest moments in world history, not only American history. So I'm gonna go Reagan.
No.
I mean, obviously, like, Washington's awesome.
Well, look, my favorite president of all time is George Washington, because if it wasn't for George Washington, we wouldn't even have a country.
I mean, George Washington is the best.
And he chose to be president.
Yeah.
They wanted him to be king, and he was like, no, I did not have all those people. They fought and died to create a country. I will be president. So
Yeah.
George Washington is absolutely my favorite president of all time.
No, George Washington is awesome, and no, like you said, he started everything. He was, and then the fact that he didn't take advantage of, you know, being the leader. Like, they wanted him to be king. They're like, oh, like, you have to be king, and he said, like, no, we left that. We don't want monarchy here. I'm gonna be president, and then after 2 terms, that was it, and he was done. So, yeah, I would agree. George Washington, probably of all time, George Washington's probably the best. I mean,
Yes.
Abe Lincoln's up there too. He was a really good president.
Yes,
but,
Abraham Lincoln was
But
good.
Washington, I'd probably say all time is the best. And then, but my favorite, I'd probably say is Reagan or Trump. Trump was great.
I love Trump.
Trump was great. So, but
Do you
no,
know-
I would say,
When I watch Hamilton, I love the scene when they're like, here comes a general, rise up. Here comes a general, rise up. Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite scenes of the whole, because it's like exciting because you're so into the musical. And it's like, oh my God, George Washington's gonna be, and it's just so exciting. So I do love George Washington.
yeah.
To the fact that I get excited when he's being sung about in Hamilton. Oh, I'm starting to blush in my love for
Hamilton I thought did an excellent job, that whole musical. I think portraying the whole, you know, time
Yeah.
period and what was going on. I thought the musical was excellent. I thought it was very well done. And, no, I think just overall, that was a great show. Probably one of the few musicals that I'll actually sit down and watch.
Yeah, it's true.
Even John sat down and watched it.
He
Remember,
did.
John
Yeah,
sat
he
and watched the
enjoyed
whole
it.
musical. That's right, I'm calling you out, Val. Oh, you watched the whole thing. No, but that
on
was
that
a great
evil
musical.
Disney Plus.
Took it
Disney
over.
now,
Took it over.
the enemy of the conservative people.
I
Did
know.
you hear about what happened to Gina Carano?
Yes, yeah, no, that's one of the topics I wanted to get into is The Mandalorian and what happened with Gina Carano. I feel like I have to boycott The Mandalorian now. It's such a good show, but now I can't watch it.
I mean, I have to say, this Daily Wire gave her own show now.
Yeah,
She's going to
yep, I saw
produce,
that.
create. That's every actor's dream or
Yeah.
artist's dream. If you're a true artist, you have all these things, like the music is always going on in your head.
Yep.
So to have that opportunity, Disney actually did her a favor.
No, I agree. I was looking for... I thought Gina Carano was great on the show. She played her character really well, and she fit in with the show, and it's unfortunate now that she's going to be by herself. I mean, like you said, she gets to create now, but still, I think her character, that element of her character, that's going to be a tough role to fill for whoever's got to take over that character now, because I'm sure they're going to recast it. But,
And let's be honest. Do you really think some lib woman could even pull it off?
no, you can tell she's very macho, right?
Let's be honest. That character is a badass, tough woman. You could tell she's not wearing a pussy hat, walking around saying "not my president" for the last 4 years.
No.
Like, she's a badass woman. She goes to the gym. Like, I mean, I'm gonna find it very funny if they find like you couldn't see Jennifer Aniston pulling off that role. Like, give me a
Jennifer
break.
Aniston, no.
You know, like,
She's good on Friends, though.
you gotta give her credit. Like, she's a big time. Like I said, she's
Yeah.
a Real Housewife of New Jersey type woman. You know, and you know that they all voted
No,
for Trump.
her. No, don't say that. Bravo will take it off. He'll take it off
Oh,
the air.
I have to say, Andy Cohen loves those ladies though, because
Yeah,
he goes,
you
money,
can tell
money,
when he
money,
does- when he does those what is it? Those season finales
Oh,
where he goes
yeah,
and
with
sits
the
around with
interview.
a woman, and he said, "Oh man, that's his favorite. He loves it." He
Oh,
loves it.
he's like the devil. He's
Yeah.
like the devil, just like bringing
goes
up
in there
every
and-
nasty negative
yeah.
thing, and he's just like,
He's like, well, let's
So
go back to
graceful.
episode 3 of season 5, and you said this, and it's like, oh, what should that bitch say?
Andy Cohen always brings out the worst in
The new
people.
season coming out on Wednesday.
I can't wait.
I know Lauren's really excited too. She's making me watch it with her. We're doing a couple show watch, so now I'm reeled into Real Housewives of New Jersey.
I've been
So
watching
I'm gonna
that
be
show for years. I think like Olivia was like not even talking, and I was watching that show.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I love that stupid show. It's so bad, but I love it.
I know. I thought it was good. I was watching. God, it was. Because it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
So I watched like older seasons on Hulu. The last time I watched it, it was before Joe got deported,
Oh,
where they sent him to Italy
yeah.
for the tax evasion. So Joe is actually still on the show. I think it was like during the trial was when I was watching it, but I haven't watched anything since.
Well, you know
with
what's so
Teresa
funny?
being single now and everything.
Years ago, I used to say to your dad, I go, these are the dumbest people.
Yeah.
I said, how the hell could they be so successful? Like, they're so dumb. What are they doing that we're not doing? Apparently, we were paying our taxes.
Yeah,
And we weren't
following
supporting
the
the
rules.
government. That was the difference, is that we actually live our lives the proper way. And, you know, I when all that stuff came out, I have to admit, I felt a little bit better about myself, where I was like, you know what, I'm really not that stupid. This actually was people doing things not the right way.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what I got out of that show.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest. How many celebrities really are paying their complete taxes?
I think a lot of them do. But I think a lot of them have very fancy tax attorneys who help them to create shelters and farms. And you know.
And give money to charity. Certain charities
Yeah.
get those tax write-offs for doing
Oh,
that.
for
so-
sure. You know, I mean, but that's a smart way of doing it.
Yeah, you don't want to break the law. You don't want to break the law.
Right,
Like Cuomo.
Oh my gosh. All right, this is what I'm dying to know.
All right, here we go.
Last year, the people up here, they really have no clue who Andrew Cuomo is. They really don't.
They don't know.
And
It's
they're
like
like-
the people. They don't know. They don't know.
They just know there's a D at
Yeah.
the end of his name.
Yeah.
A D.
Democrat from New York.
So they're like, oh my gosh, Andrew Cuomo, I love him. Hopefully he'll run for president. Isn't he great? He's the best. Andrew Cuomo. I said, people, you don't understand. This guy's a scumbag. Back when I was a kid, when he was running against Koch, he came up with the slogan, vote for Cuomo, not the homo. Okay, that's Andrew Cuomo. He's a pig. He's
True.
disgusting.
That's true.
All right?
That's correct.
But no, everybody's like, because we always have revisionist history
Yep.
here. And, you know, he's the best. Well, the guy gets an Emmy, writes a book about how great a job he's doing with COVID. Come to find out, Letitia James, who's gunning for Trump too, she's a big D herself. Even she couldn't avoid all the people that Andrew Cuomo killed by pulling them out of hospitals and sending them sick into the nursing homes. They had like 8,000 deaths on record, and it's more like way over 13,000. Like, he murdered
Yeah.
old people.
Well, what they probably did was displace those numbers to put them in other states so that other Democrat states.
Or, you know, I don't, listen, it is so sick and disgusting what he did.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, they went after Trump, and they were like, 6 people died. How about a couple of thousand? Are we gonna, you know, is Cuomo gonna get impeached? Is he
Probably
gonna
not.
get fired? Does he have to
Probably
resign? What is gonna be the consequence for Andrew Cuomo?
There'll be
Seriously.
no- I mean, we'll see. I mean, New Yorkers are quote unquote pissed from what I heard, but you know, the New Yorkers will always wipe the slate clean for the Democrat.
Let me tell you, he'll run in a primary and win again.
Yeah.
It's just, it's such
You're
a
probably right.
farce. The guy won an Emmy and
Yeah.
killed all those people. It just goes to show how, like, if the media kisses your ass and says things enough, people tend to believe it. No, this is the way it is. No, it really is that way. No. Cuomo is the best. There's no one handling it better than Cuomo. I'm telling you, Cuomo's number one. Cuomo, here's an Emmy. Cuomo, write a book. And behind the scenes, he's skewing the numbers to hide just how bad a job he is doing. Then Ron DeSantis, fantastic governor of Florida, has a lot more old people to deal with. The death rate, not even half.
Yeah.
Not even half. You know why? Because he actually did a good job. That evil bastard, Ron DeSantis. Then did you hear that, what's his name? Oh, how bad is this? I'm like, what's his name? Biden. That he
Yeah.
wants to put travel restrictions on Florida now. Did you
he
hear
does.
about this?
No, so what he wants to do is restrict people from leaving and restrict people, tourists mainly, going in and out of the state, going like on vacation. And it's like, dude, you have the entire country locked up, basically. There's nothing open. People just want to go to the beach and just get a couple days away.
Mental health matters.
Yeah, mental
too.
health matters. And nobody is accounting for anybody's mental health anymore. Nobody. And the Democrats, they have their whole big advocacy for mental health awareness, and we need to focus more on people's mental health. But then you're the same assholes that are like, you can't leave your house. You're killing people. How dare you want to go out and hang out with your friends? You sick? It's like, what the hell? Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, oh, we have to care for people's mental health. Like, the virtual shit, nobody wants any virtual shit anymore. That fucking sucks. Nobody wants that. And they had, like, virtual ice cream socials. It's like, dude, I don't want to eat an ice cream social staring at someone on the camera. Like, nobody wants that.
Nobody
like, that's
wants
stupid.
that.
So it's like, at some point, you have to be like, okay, like, let's look at the facts. I know everybody wants to live by the science. All right, let's look at the science. The 24-year-old college kid is not going to die. He's in good shape, goes to the gym, he's a healthy guy. He can go out. He'll be okay. But yes, the 86-year-old grandmother, from Fresno, California, yes, she can't go out because if she gets sick, well, like, all right, But
It's called selective quarantine.
Selective quarantine, but also, this is the
quarantine.
United States. Give people the option.
If you want to kill yourself.
Yeah, if you want to go out and expose yourself to the virus, then okay, go out and expose yourself to the virus. Nobody, that shouldn't be,
Listen,
frowned
misery loves company.
Yeah,
So people
really.
have embraced this whole quarantine misery lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and they are furious when somebody is not.
Yeah.
Like the CDC, when we got COVID, they said, after this you can do whatever you want. I said, what do you mean I can do whatever I want? They go, well, if you get exposed to it again or something else happens, you don't have to worry about it. The science says that for 90 days you're good.
Yeah.
I said, so does that mean I can travel? Yes, you can travel. I said, really? The next day I was booking a flight to Florida. I said, this is like a get out of jail free pass getting the COVID.
It is.
I have a
It
friend
is.
who's sick now in Jersey, and I said, listen, you really want that test to be positive, because if that test comes back positive, you are free and clear after the day that symptoms started to show.
Yeah.
I think it's 10 days.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, so the thing is that, so we made this trip to Florida,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to mention any names, but a teacher embarrasses
Yes.
one of my kids.
That-
I'm even going to be
that was bullshit.
as vague. Embarrasses one of my kids and says, don't you have COVID? You shouldn't be here. You have
Yeah.
COVID. And it's like, first of all, what you should be doing is having a policy discussion with whoever, because I know that they're COVID czars at the school.
Yeah,
and they would
yeah.
say, no, this kid had COVID back in the beginning of January. They quarantined. And after all that mental stress of if you get COVID, it's a death sentence
Yeah.
talk, that's a lot of stress on the family. So if it's like after that, you're free, you do need to take some mental health days.
No,
but I
you
guess
don't.
only to
Correct.
Vermont. So if I want to go skiing in Vermont and fly under the radar, but since I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go to a beach in Florida, I'm going to look at beautiful water, I'm going to really get a change of scenery, it's a sin. Are we following the science or are we not following the science?
Yeah.
Which one is it? The science says that it's okay. But it's like, no, the problem is that people are miserable and they want you to be as miserable as they are.
No, you're right.
That's what the problem is.
Well, I think it's ridiculous too, because like you said, if people go skiing all the time. I know a ton of people that go, oh, we're going to go skiing for the weekend. We're going to go on vacation to Vermont and go stay
And
in a
we're not
resort.
rich white
Go
people
stay in
who
a
have
resort.
second houses.
Like, you stayed at an Airbnb.
Right.
By yourself.
By yourself.
With your family
Yes.
who already had COVID.
In a pod.
But if somebody goes to a ski resort with a ton of people there, then it's like, oh, that's okay. Like
I didn't even think of that.
people don't frown upon that. It's like, if I get an Airbnb house with me and my friends who I know don't have COVID, it's like, don't harass me. It's like, I already know that I'm not spreading the virus because all the people that I'm around don't have it or already had it. So it's like, let me do what I want to do. Because at the same time, you have the people shaming you for going down south, but then they go
To
3 hours north, and they're with basically the same amount of people at those ski resorts, because tons of people go from all over the country, because Vermont is huge for skiing. So you have a ton of people coming from all over the country to ski, and you know, nobody seems to give a shit about that.
Well, you know, that's what I call the class warfare in our country.
Yeah,
We're really
no,
going to
you're
talk
right.
about class warfare.
That is class
We
warfare.
grew up very poor in my family. That nobody ever went skiing. That was never, if you were lucky, they had the money for the ice time in Flushing Meadow Park, because we couldn't even have the Rockefeller Center money, okay? That's how broke we were. We had to go to the Flushing Meadow Park, where you took the F train to the 7 train, and it took like an hour just on train rides to go, and then you always had these people who knew how to skate, and for the 1 or 2 times you actually got a chance to go on the ice, you were like, you know, holding on to the side. Very embarrassing.
Yeah.
But the point is that that's what most people who are poor, living in the city, the lower class people, are dealing with.
Yeah.
Then you have these rich people who have the money, who have a second house in Vermont, who have the means to be able to go skiing and enjoy their lives a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We never grew up as skiers. If I went and tried to put a pair of skis on, I would probably break my leg.
No, you
like,
don't.
I'm not kidding you. Like, that's not something.
You would. You probably would.
Yes, I would probably break a leg.
Yeah.
Like, that's not something I can do. Hey, I did go to Puerto Rico as a child. I can go to the beach.
That's
I
right.
can go look at the water, you know, look at a coconut on a palm tree. That's what I'm good at doing. All right? I'm not, I've never
You're
had
good at
that.
laying in the sand.
You
You're
know,
good laying in the sand person.
you know I love a beach day.
You
I
do.
love a beach day. But
There's
no,
nothing wrong. Look, when I go to the beach, if I'm by myself at the beach, like, leave me alone. Like, I don't understand who am I damaging by laying in the sand
no
by
one.
myself? Who am I damaging?
No one. And let me tell you, everybody was social
Is COVID
distance.
now in the ocean? Where if I go swimming in the ocean and somebody up north wanted to go fishing, they're gonna catch my COVID from Florida all the way up in Connecticut
Carlos,
through the
only
ocean.
after 9:30 at night is COVID in the ocean.
Well, that's
so
bullshit.
we have to make sure about the curfew.
That's a
rule.
fucking
So after 9:30
that's an
at night,
attack.
maybe.
I feel
Maybe it
like
is.
on the restaurant
Businesses.
industry
Of
and
course it is.
businesses because that 9:30 thing is crap. And the masks in the restaurants when you're like coming in is crap too, because the only people when you're sitting in the restaurant, like I went out. So yes, I'm an asshole. I went out for Valentine's Day. I didn't make dinner at home. I went out and spent a good amount of money. But I went out and I went out to dinner with my girlfriend, like a normal person.
And did you have an old couple right next to you?
Oh, I had an old couple probably sitting where you were sitting. So me and Lauren would be face to face. And then yes, I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus. There was the thing there, you know.
Yes, they do put the plexiglass.
No, what was it? It was at this place. It's pretty nice plexiglass. It got like a design on it. It looks nice.
Ooh,
So,
fancy.
But no, the restaurant was packed.
I'm sure it was. It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, like, and look, everybody there was happy. We're having a good time. But then, what annoys me the most is that everybody there was nice and having a good time and happy, and then they'll go home on Facebook and be like, "Well, look at those COVID-idiots," because probably being in Connecticut, they're probably those assholes that are like, "Oh, look at those COVID-idiots" on Facebook typing away on whatever group page you're on, the We Hate Trump group page. You see that group page? That's an
Thank
interesting
God
group
I
page.
have not seen that.
Yeah,
page.
liberals love to post stuff. I know. So on Instagram,
So
they
it's
have
called
like
the
a-
I Hate. See, that's my whole point.
We Hate Donald Trump page.
All
That's
right,
the page.
liberals, there's a page. Go look at it and tell me now that there's not hate in your party.
Yeah,
Shame on
right?
you. Shame on you, because you're letting this country be ruled and organized with a great deal of hate. And hate doesn't get you anywhere. Just think about that.
No,
But
I know.
anyway,
No, so it's just annoying because it's like you go out and you're trying to have a nice time and like you never know who's gonna harass you.
Well,
for
nobody
trying to
harassed
live
you
your life.
because you were kind of with your people last night.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I would say
you know,
so. It's
like-
pretty. It would be pretty safe to say.
That's how I felt in Florida. We went
Yeah.
to Florida, and it was just like there was no harassing, there was no stress, it was a relaxed environment, and it felt fantastic.
Yep.
You know, we're in Connecticut, they're really, New Jersey's even worse, man. The people
Yeah.
are so
No,
on
so
edge.
we have. Yeah, so you went to Jersey.
Well,
this
yes,
weekend.
yes, I did.
Another COVID-idiot leaving the state.
No, I'm not, because the
Um,
CDC and the science says that I can go travel to New Jersey if I want to because I'm 90 days.
Right.
90 days. So here was my chance. I have not visited my friend in New Jersey,
Yep.
and I went to go visit her because I
How
miss
was it?
her.
How was your trip?
It was fantastic.
Did you have a good time?
Well, it was great. Well, when I swear, I like went over New York State into New Jersey, and it was like you could feel the stress. And
Well, Jersey's got a lot of decisions to make because now Cuomo, now that he didn't get his handouts, is beginning to open the entire state up. You know, now you could have fans and sporting events and at the event halls. So things are starting to open up now back again in New York. And now Jersey is the last one, right? So Connecticut, we've already, you know, allowed people in restaurants, we've had
Right.
indoor dining, we've been trying to move in that direction of opening. And now New York is like, okay, we'll have 10%, I think, or 15% of people.
a 25%, but
25
including
in restaurants,
staff.
though, but that's only in
Including
restaurants.
staff.
Including staff.
Including staff. So if you have a staff, it's really not 25%. It
Which
is
probably
more like,
winds like 15%.
right,
probably.
exactly.
Right, so, you know, New York is starting to open back up now, but Jersey, I haven't heard anything about Jersey starting to open back up.
Well, we
Have you-
had to get the Chinese food because it was Chinese New Year, so we were
Yes,
celebrating.
happy
'cause we're
Chinese
both
New Year, by the way. You're
Gong
in
Hee
the
Fa
Ox.
Choi.
You're in the Ox.
Yes, so we had to celebrate because we grew
Right.
up together, and you know we celebrated Chinese New Year when we were 12. So
Yep.
like the first time we ever celebrated a Year of the Ox Chinese New Year, we were together thanks to Miss Newland. So, because back in those days you could celebrate everybody's differences. Like they didn't put it in a box where it's like we're not going to celebrate Christmas, we're not going to celebrate. No, when I was young, we celebrated everything. We celebrated Christmas, we celebrated Hanukkah, we celebrated Chinese New Year. We celebrated everything. And even though we all had differences,
Yeah.
we're all the same when it comes to being human. And I like that way of thinking more than this. We don't want to say Merry Christmas because it might offend somebody who doesn't celebrate Christmas. We don't want to say Happy Hanukkah because, you know, that's not the way it was. So Chinese New Year, back when we were in the 6th grade, Miss Newland took us to Chinatown. And Chinatown knows how to party it up.
Right.
Yeah, you can imagine there's no COVID back in these days.
Yeah.
So so I said, you know, we should celebrate again. So I went and we ordered from the worst Chinese restaurant. I have to tell you, Dragon East is the best Chinese
Yes,
food.
Dragon East in Brantford is absolutely
owner?
delicious.
Where's the owner
Fantastic
from?
place.
Where's the owner
Sewer
from?
Park High School.
Lower East Side, baby.
Lower East Side.
Another Lower East Side resident, loving it in Brantford.
That's right.
So his Chinese food is so good. So the food, it has to be, like, you can't even open the door. They
Yeah.
have to come to the door, they drop the food, and then they go running away. So she gets the food. The order was messed up, and it sucked.
The food
I
is
was
shit.
like, this is the worst Chinese food I ever ate. I'm like, this is complete crap. And I was like, you know, Brantford, we're really blessed. Dragon East,
Dragon
best
East.
Chinese restaurant.
Great Chinese
Oh my
food.
gosh.
Really good. Really good.
Second
Chinese
to
food.
none. Second to none. They're just
Yeah.
delicious. So
Well,
I got
that's
screwed
family
for
that
my
owns it,
Chinese.
too.
Yeah.
There's family that owns it.
But I was really disappointed that
Well, that's right, because
Had
that's you
Chinese
had White
food.
Castle on.
yeah, so around
Chinese
12:30,
food.
her
White
daughter,
Castle.
who wasn't partying with us, drove us to the castle,
Yeah,
and we
that
got
was,
White Castle.
That was interesting.
It was so delicious.
Got the sliders. The White Castle burger is the best fast food burger, bar none.
Oh, there was a
So
commercial
good.
when I was a kid.
So good.
And it was White Castle has the taste some people won't live without. And a little plane would go flying by and they would drop bags of White Castle out of the plane and you would see kids running in the field catching the White Castle. That's how it feels. I always wanted to open a White Castle here in Brantford.
I know. Why? What is the law that is preventing
It's
White
not a
Castle from opening?
franchise. It's an actual corporation.
Right.
And they own every location. So I couldn't say, because I wanted to be queen of the castle. Like I had this whole thing. I said, I want to open a White Castle. You remember where the Wendy's is? Like
Yeah.
by Home Depot in East Haven? I said, I will be printing money. The people get right off the highway.
Yeah.
And you can get off, go to White Castle, then jump right back on.
Yo, off of exit like 51, I think.
I think
is.
it's 50, is it? Yeah.
It's 51.
Yeah.
Yeah, right when you come over
Yeah,
the
right,
queue.
where the Home Depot
Where
is.
Boston Market is.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
okay, yes.
But I wanted it to be
51.
southbound.
Right.
You know, like I wanted
Where
this.
the Wendy's is on the other side of the
Exactly.
road. Okay.
Because
all
remember
right,
they
yeah.
were doing construction like a couple,
Well, yeah,
like
for a
10 years
while.
ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So I said, I really want, so I look into it, you can't open a franchise. It's the corporation that actually, I said, I would be printing money between Yale, New Haven colleges, like everybody would be going to that White Castle.
White Castle's delicious. It's so good.
And wouldn't I make
So
a great
good.
queen of the castle?
White
I know I'd make a
Castle
great queen.
is the best. It's really, that's probably my least favorite thing in Connecticut is that there's no White Castle.
No
because
White
it's-
Castle.
It's so good.
It's
to the point where
delicious.
I've thought about driving to the Bronx just for the White Castle.
Well, every time we go to New York, it doesn't matter. We always have to stop
Yeah,
at White
Even
Castle.
if we
and
had a
drink.
big dinner.
We could go to an Italian restaurant, eat $300 worth of food.
And then we
with
still-
such
we
pigs.
still have
Honestly,
to-
like that's just a sin. We're gonna go to hell. Like we think we're doing everything right, and then God's gonna be like gluttony, and my ass is gonna go straight
Look,
to hell.
but maybe if Jesus Christ had a White Castle slider, he would be like, yeah. Have you had this? Have you had this? He'd be handing it out instead of the fish. You remember the fish and the loaves? It'd be the White Castle sliders where you'd be like, Jesus, we only have 6 sliders. What are we gonna do? Oh. And then boom, millions of sliders and millions of fries and the chocolate shakes and all those people in Israel. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! More people would probably believe in Jesus. I think the Christ, all the other dominations would be done
And let me
because
say-
all because of
And
Jesus
ass,
Christ
you
at
would
the
get
White
that
Castle.
slider.
Yeah, the body of Christ, and it comes in the little cardboard box, the body of Christ, and he reaches into the crave case and grabs the body of Christ and hands it to you. Amen. And you walk over, the chocolate shakes the wine, the blood of
There
Christ
would
is
be
the chocolate
so
shake.
many more people
Boom.
going to church, right?
I know.
So many more
Everybody would
people.
be going to church.
Let me tell you, people work harder to go to heaven.
I know.
This totally beats manna from heaven. It's the White Castle cheese.
I know. It's like you're eating so good down here. It talks about that shitty chip that they hand when you walk up. That
I have
chip
to
is
admit, I
terrible.
love the body of Christ.
Oh,
I
that chip
think
is
it's
shit.
delicious.
It's
Depends on the
terrible.
church.
It's really
It does
bad.
depend on the
It's gotten worse. The chip used to be better than it is now.
I think that, listen, it's not a chip, it's the body of Christ.
It's
All right,
a
I'm
chip.
not going to hell for.
It's
for
once it's
blasphemy.
blessed, then it becomes the body of Christ.
Right.
But I've
It's
eaten
the
the
body.
chips out of the bag before it was
Because
blessed.
you're a bad boy. Because you're a bad
It's
boy
a
that you
chip.
went and ate it
It's
before.
a chip.
It's not a chip.
It is.
Listen, it's not.
And it's a crap
wafer
chip.
or a-
It's shit. It ain't like Lay's potato.
That's not true.
It's
It is.
crap.
It's heaven in your mouth.
It's terrible.
It fills you with the Holy
And I
Spirit.
don't
It
like
does.
that they
It
don't
fills
hand
me
out
with
the
the Holy
blood
Spirit.
anymore. That's shit.
We're lucky we're still getting communion.
Yeah, so what's up with that? So it's, we can't have more than 4 people in a pew, but we can hand out communion in a line?
Well, no, the usher stands there.
Yeah,
and he
he did.
guides everybody. They keep them 6 feet apart. But then at the end of mass, it's a free for all. Everybody's running out of the church. The whole 6
I
feet
know.
apart thing. It's like we're so good from the minute we enter. We get the bar. Everybody's on their best behavior.
Right.
The mass is ended. Go in peace to love and serve God. Crowds at the doorways like that. Just,
What the hell is COVID?
Yeah, it's like
Those old ladies are the first ones too, like,
and they stop and
hustling out
gossip
to
right by the
to
door.
those old people buses.
Well,
those
no.
old people buses.
We went to Mass in Pensacola because we were like, oh, let's go to
Right.
Mass here.
Oh, well, that must have been like old school church.
They were all gossiping, right? We couldn't even get out of the church.
Did they have the donuts in the other room, like
we
St.
left.
Therese?
We left because Gabriel
We left
almost had
out
a
of
heart attack.
disgust.
I was so afraid he was going to get struck down while we were at Mass. The way he was, he was not happy with that priest.
No,
Let's
he
just say
wasn't.
that. Well,
Now,
that
was he
the
as
church.
bad as the priest from
He
the church
had.
that we go to?
He had
was
that.
crazy.
Is he
aura.
alive? Is he alive? Can he breathe when he's
Yeah.
on the
No,
altar?
he was like
Because
a
the other guy
hardcore.
can't.
Listen, I don't even know that guy's name.
The,
I
the,
can't
the
talk
other
bad about
the other
a
guy,
handicap.
like I can't believe he still is allowed to conduct masses.
You know what's the
At what
best
point
line?
does the archdiocese come in and be like, you're done? Like somebody's got to sit that guy down and be like, look, it's time to retire. Like it's over.
My favorite line though was in the middle of the mass when you look at me and you're like, "Where's the English as a second language priest?"
Well, I know.
This guy was so bad that you wanted the priest and you have trouble understanding. Me, I could understand English as a second language because I grew up with English as a second language.
Oh man, the best now is when you're not allowed to have. Usually when you go to mass, I know we have some people that aren't Catholics that watch the show, but usually when you go to mass, you get the books, you get to read along.
Yes, the
with,
Missalette.
Yes. Now you don't get that. So there's no book anymore. But they still have
The Spanish reading.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like, come
So-
on.
Well, now all you white people know what it's like when you have a Spanish-speaking person who can't understand English. Now you know what it feels like.
What country is this?
This is the United States of America, but still, maybe it gives you a little bit of empathy. So you go, you know what? It must be challenging for those people who don't speak the language.
Okay, but in Guilford, Connecticut, how many Hispanic people are going to the mass?
Well, they do usually when the mass is open. There are a lot of people who are
There's
like
not that
laborers
many.
from
There's not that
bishops
many.
and
Maybe like 4 or
Two.
5. 6
Families.
people maybe. No, not families.
Oh.
4 or 5, 6 people max.
really.
Yeah.
Well, I did. Well, you know what they
I
did
don't
at
know.
this.
I love the Spanish reading. I think the Spanish reading is fantastic. I think it's great. But you have to have the book so you could follow along.
I agree with
You
you.
need the book.
At least give out a sheet.
Yeah.
And say, you know,
Like, be like,
here's
okay,
sheet,
here's
you
the
can throw it
Spanish
out.
reading.
Right.
You know, so if you want to follow along,
I
give us
agree.
the option. Like,
Yeah.
don't, you know, dick us over like that where we're standing there like, oh yeah, this is a great message. And then keep referring back to it. That's what annoys me too. It's like, you have this guy that's doing the homily referring back to something that you have no idea what it said. So you're like,
That's
what the
true.
hell are you talking about?
Dad really struggled with that.
Like,
Dad
it's like,
was
come
really
on.
like, what was the connection? I couldn't even understand. He kept referring to the second reading. I didn't even know what the second reading was.
Yes.
Well,
you can't
in-
do that.
It
In
really
Pensacola, they had us pull up the readings on our phones.
Well, that's nice. They should give
Yes,
us the
they
option
did.
now. They should give us that
Well-
option. They should like
And
the,
they had the sheet too.
Yeah.
Well, the restaurants, they have the barcodes. You
Yeah.
know the restaurants where you scan the barcode
Yeah,
and
the
it comes
menu.
up on your phone? They can't put the barcodes in the pews? Like,
That's
they can't put a
true.
barcode and be like, scan your phone.
Could
so
you
can follow
imagine
along.
those seniors? Could you imagine? Honey, how do I do the scan? How do I do the scan? How do we do it? Hello? How do I... Hey, I'm doing the New York old people sound, but honestly, you know how those seniors, and mostly the seniors who go to the masses,
Right.
for them it would be kind of hard. They need to do a little tiny paper that you could throw out right at the end of the mass. Instead of doing the bulletin, or put it in the bulletin.
Hand the paper out. You read the paper, and then you throw the paper out, and then you go to the, what's it called? You go to the hand sanitizer, you sanitize it out, and keep walking.
I listen. I think that they
Very
could do something
efficient
better
system
than
there. Very
having the
efficient
second
system.
reading in Spanish and people can't follow. I
Yeah.
agree with that totally.
Yeah, you can't have that. It's just, it makes things way too hard. Way too hard. But,
I do like the idea though of White Castle.
no. I mean, how can
Man,
you
no,
not
I'm
like
getting
that
hungry.
idea?
Man, Lent is coming. Speaking of Mass
Yes,
and White
I know,
Castle,
Lent is coming.
Lent
On
is
Wednesday.
coming. Ash Wednesday. That means a lot of Lenten sacrifice, praying.
What are you sacrificing this year?
I usually give up, like, you know, I give up alcohol, which
Right.
is the hardest thing.
No,
But I do
problem.
have 2 days. For your birthday, I celebrate, and for one of my closest friends, it's her birthday on St. Patrick's Day. We always have a blast, and I come home freaking wasted, but I have the best time.
Yeah, you do come home pretty rocked.
Yeah, I mean, but it's, you know, like, it's a tradition, and I worked it out with God. I prayed, and
Yeah.
He's okay with me celebrating one of my best friends, and of course my son's birthday. But besides that, there'll be no alcohol. Eating very healthy. I try to be a better person, and I pray a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go on a prayer diet as well, and really just pray, try to reinforce that connection with God, and have Him inspire you to be a better person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, if you're walking around saying, I hate Trump, even I didn't go around saying, I hate this person, I hate Obama, I hate Biden. Like, that's not me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to do that. So it's good to pray so that you don't go around being such a miserable person.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing worse than that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
So that's really what I try to focus on. How do you handle your Lenten?
Well, for this year, so Lauren and I are going to do it together. And we're giving up all of our social media accounts. So we're going to go completely...
How are we going to do the show?
Well, no, so for work, obviously, you can continue.
Oh.
Like, I'll have the Make the Right Play Twitter and
I was going to say,
YouTube
that's
and
the
everything like
wrong play. Giving up the social media account
No,
is
but
the
like
wrong...
scrolling
I
on
get it, I get it.
Instagram and on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff, I'm gonna not do that. That's what I'm giving up. But I only turned 21 once, so I sure as shit ain't giving up alcohol for my 21st. It's just not
No,
happening,
you have
so-
to celebrate your
Yeah.
birthday.
Right, but I'm gonna celebrate it multiple times, and just once.
What are you, Nona? Nona, it wasn't a birthday.
Well,
it
when
was
my
a birth
when
month.
my
Or
birthday
months.
is in the smack middle of the week.
Yeah, but so what?
No, I'm going out.
All right, so let's say
Going out
we'll
with the
celebrate.
boys.
You're celebrating with us on your birthday. March
Right.
3rd. So what are you doing with the boys? So then it should just be March 3rd in that one weekend.
Sure. Yeah.
It should be. You know?
Yeah.
My mom used to be like, it'd be June. John Lewis is taking me out for my birthday. It's June. I'm like,
No.
even Dad would be like, I never met anyone who celebrated their birthday for so.
No, probably just the weekend. The weekend after will probably be the last time.
Yeah. Well, then after that, are you gonna give up
Yeah.
anything? Like, are you gonna give up alcohol the rest of
I guess so, yeah. St. Patrick's Day now, though.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day. I mean, every Irish person needs a break.
Yeah, like we're going to Tommy Sullivan's and
Oh,
we get pretty
really?
waffled at Tommy Sullivan's.
Do you think
yeah.
they'll be open to have people partying?
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the 1 year that
I know.
everybody goes there. I mean, they can't not have that business. I'm
But-
sure they suffered enough from last year
Yeah.
not having that business that if they go 2 years without having the entire town at the one Irish pub in Connecticut, then they may be screwed. So,
Oh, I hope that the place that we go to,
or Donahue is
Donahue's-
pretty good in
Oh, I
Clinton.
love that place.
Yeah.
It's so much
Donahue's is
fun.
pretty good. Maybe we'll head out there. It's me, Lauren, Matt, and Jake will probably go out. Will doesn't like to go out for St. Patrick's Day, so.
Well, he's not Irish. Well, his mom might be a little Irish. I think she's
Yeah,
German.
He's
though.
not into the whole Irish hardcore thing.
Your father's not into it either because he's 100% Italian.
That's right. He
So
doesn't
he's-
celebrate the holiday.
He doesn't
He's
get
not
a
into
pass.
it. But I am a McEvitt. My maiden name is McEvitt, so I am very Irish on that day.
Yes. Yeah,
I
Lauren's
love
got the
St.
whole
Patrick's
outfit.
Day.
She's got the green face paint, the green necklaces. She's got the jersey that's like, I'm trashed on
Kiss
the
me,
back.
I'm Irish.
Yeah, like she's got the whole outfit, so it should be a good day. We're gonna have a good time on St. Patrick's Day.
All
Looking
you
forward
kids,
to it.
when you were little, I always had a shirt for you that was like "Kiss me, I'm Irish." I like every.
Yeah, we're gonna get some good green swag, I think, for St. Patrick's Day.
St.
I'm excited.
Patrick's
I'm
Day
looking
is
forward
fun.
to it. It's a fun holiday. I like it. I think it's a great time.
I mean, but then after that, there's nothing till Easter.
Yeah.
There's like no cheating, no other celebrations, and then right after Easter we have Gabriel's birthday. So we have an exciting spring coming up. Hopefully it'll warm up, and we'll be able to enjoy spring a little bit. You know.
Yes.
I love spring in Connecticut. It's so
Oh.
beautiful. What happened? Oh, did something go wrong?
Yeah, my computer just shut down. It said it detected an error and shut down.
So
So the YouTube is still live. Like we
All
still
right.
have the live YouTube show.
then we'll just do the YouTube.
No Spotify episode this week. Maybe I can like plug in the YouTube video and take the audio from the YouTube video. Sorry for all the Spotify listeners. We had a breakdown on the PC. It's tough.
Listen, we're broke.
It's tough.
And it ain't no joke.
Yeah.
We need new laptops.
We need multiple
we
cameras.
Need cameras.
We need a producer. I gotta look
What?
at
Our
hiring.
producer's great. What we
No,
need
he's great,
is
but we need
equipment.
like you have those guys in the sound booth where they're like really controlling the microphones and making you sound really good. It's so tough. Like it's like
It is
No.
tough. Well, I mean, that's why we can say what we want and we can't get canceled.
that's right.
That's the good news.
That's
the
how
good
we
news
get picked
is
up.
that you can't cancel us.
That's right. Because we have no sponsors.
We can say what we
Or
want.
YouTube could throw us off technically.
I don't think they throw us
We could-
off though.
They have. I mean, they've thrown multiple people off in the past. No. It's rebooting. It's fine. Like it's got to reboot now. I guess it detected a
My
problem
computer
when it
is
reboots,
dying.
so.
I have to get it repaired. It literally is starting to go, and I'm like, oh God. And my Christmas present was going to be a repaired computer. And now we're past Valentine's, so maybe that'll happen. We'll get a nerd on it or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, yeah, we were gonna get you the nice computer, and
It
you
was
were
too
like,
much money.
Yeah,
it
you
was
didn't want.
too
You didn't,
much
well,
money.
We were gonna get
don't
the
have
Mac,
money
but
for
you
that.
weren't feeling the Mac because.
Well, I would love it,
much.
but it was too much money, and we
Yeah.
don't have money for that. Like listen, we
Well,
have
once
we have real bills
we have real bills until.
until someday over the rainbow. Someday.
Yes. Someday.
I hope everybody had a happy Valentine's Day yesterday.
Yes, Coach. How was your Valentine's Day? What did you do to celebrate this year?
I have to
Yeah.
say, I'm exhausted. Between going to Florida, going to Jersey, I was tired. I said, Scott, what I really want to do is just order some pizza, snuggle on the couch.
Oh, that's his holiday right there. He loves it.
Oh, and my husband's never
I'm
been
sure he
happier
was
with that. He was
thrilled.
like, done. He was so happy with that. So we went to the couch.
Yeah.
We had pizza, we had wine, and we watched this Nicolas Cage movie. It was fantastic because I love bad movies.
Yeah.
Like and it was a movie where he goes into like a Chuck E. Cheese type place, and it's like Willie something, and like the characters come to life and they try to kill him, and then these teenagers sneak in to try to save him, but they end up getting killed. It was fantastic.
What movie is this?
Willie something. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the movie.
But it was
just
good.
Yesterday. Then, because it was a full day,
Right.
we really were couch potatoes. I watched this movie with Scott called Baby Dunn. It's from New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about a female. She's an arborist.
Yeah.
And she gets pregnant. She's not married to the father. She ends up getting pregnant. Turns out she's 27 weeks pregnant.
Wow.
Like, that's how late in the pregnancy she realizes she's pregnant. And it was just a fun
That's
movie.
pretty late. You couldn't figure it out of any of those 27 weeks. You couldn't put it together.
When you watch this movie and you see these people, you can understand why some of the people. But
There were pizzas.
at the end of the at the end of the movie,
Okay. I got it.
you know, she's a great mom. Like she just
Yeah.
falls in love, and it was a really good movie. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
the coach
It just-
is breaking
it
down
gets me
live
very
on
emotional
camera.
because
Prez, get a shot.
it's so hard. It really is hard being a woman. It really is hard being a woman, and the sacrifices that you have to make to be a mom and to bring a baby into the world. It's it's tough. It's not easy being a woman. So watching this movie just
Having
it was
family,
just
it's
was
tough.
great.
It's a tough responsibility.
It was a great movie. So I would recommend Baby Dunn.
Yeah.
And Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland was the Nick
That was the
Cage
Nicolas
movie.
Cage movie?
Yes.
He didn't say one word the whole movie. Not one
Nicolas Cage had no
word.
lines the whole movie.
Not one word.
He's a great actor.
And
He's
he
a
was
great
phenomenal.
actor.
not even speaking.
He's a great actor, Nicolas Cage. His work is phenomenal.
I think that's why he took the movie.
Yep.
Was because he's like, I'm going to challenge myself doing a whole movie where I don't say a word. And his acting,
You would think that he is saying a word, but he's not.
he's just phenomenal. That guy's one of the greatest actors. So underrated.
Yeah.
I feel.
No, you're probably. I agree because you don't hear a lot about Nicolas Cage getting the love by the acting community.
He did win an Oscar.
He did.
Legitimately. He didn't have to eat a bear's heart to get it.
Yeah,
he won an
he didn't have
Oscar.
to, pitch a global warming.
Right. He didn't have to
Scheme
kiss
to get
anybody's ass. He's just himself.
That guy was robbed, though.
Which guy?
Leonardo DiCaprio was a little robbed, I think. I think he should have won an Oscar for a couple of other performances that he
Well,
did.
I'd have to see who he was up against, but I would agree that he's always been
I mean, he
overlooked.
was up for Best Actor, I think, like 10 times before he finally won.
Listen, Nicolas Cage, when he won his Oscar, he really deserved that Oscar.
Yeah.
It was a movie where he played an alcoholic. And this was and the girl who plays the girlfriend in the Cobra Kai movie that Johnny was obsessed with in the old days. Well, God,
I have no idea.
listen, be very careful, young people, when you party. This is a public service announcement. I liked to party when I was young. I still like to party now. I have no short-term memory at all. None. So this is
That's
a public
rough.
service announcement. Really think about it. Stay away from pot. Really, stay away from pot. It's
Stay
a
no to
very bad
drugs.
drug. I haven't had pot
Nancy
since...
Reagan says to say so.
I should have listened to
say no
Nancy.
drugs.
I should have listened to
That's
Nancy.
what Nancy Reagan says. say no to
Honestly,
drugs.
that's who I should have listened to.
Again,
but no,
going back to the Reagan administration.
I was a dumbass kid. And I haven't smoked pot since like my early 20s because I remember talking to my friend about it. I said, we used to smoke when we were young, but we never thought that we'd be in our 20s doing this shit. Like, we've got to stop. And we did. And, but
What's
now
so
I
big
have
now?
no short-term memory. So, what was I can't even remember what I was, Nicolas Cage. So he plays
Yes.
this alcoholic, and Elizabeth, I think Elizabeth Shue, I could be wrong. I don't know. The actress from the Cobra Kai that they're all obsessed with years later from high school.
So it's from the original Karate Kid?
Yes, from the original Karate
Okay,
Kid.
well,
That
I'm
actress
gonna get
plays
it
the
for you.
girl in the movie with Nicolas Cage. That movie was so powerful. And at the end of the movie, the first thing I said to my friends is, I need a drink. And the whole movie is about how bad alcoholism is.
Elizabeth Shue.
Elizabeth Shue. So
Elizabeth
she's in the
Shue.
movie with Nicolas Cage. But that was one of the rawest movies that I've ever seen. And of course, everybody in New York loved it. Like when I was like, I need a drink.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, ah, ha, ha. Like, because we were all like, like so depressed at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
But Nicolas Cage, I mean, I love the movie Family Man, that Christmas movie.
Yes, that's a great movie.
Phenomenal. Peggy Sue got married.
Yep.
The movie with the flying Elvises. Like, you could go on and
National
on.
Treasure.
Oh, who doesn't love National Treasure,
National
right?
Treasure.
Great movie.
Fantastic set of films, National Treasure.
I wish Nicolas Cage was in more movies.
Yeah, he's great. He really is a really good actor.
One of my favorites of all time.
No, I agree. I agree with you. He's been fantastic in everything that he's been in. He's really done a good job, I think. You know another actor, to stick with the actor talk, is that doesn't get a lot of respect is Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp used to get a ton of respect.
He doesn't get that.
No, he got a ton of respect, but he became a wackadoo, big time.
What was that? What's that case that he had to deal with recently? He had a big case against him.
Because his ex-wife accused him of being a wife abuser.
Oh,
Like a wife beater, whatever.
Right.
And he was like, listen.
It was big talk for a while.
Well, Johnny Depp, and this is why I kind of believe him. Because he goes, I'm a lot of things. I'm scum, I'm this, I'm that, but I'm not a wife beater. And he aired all his dirty laundry. Like, the things that were coming out about him were so disgusting. And he was like, but I'm still not a wife beater.
Yeah.
I may have shit the bed, but I'm not a wife beater. I may have broken the leg, but I'm not a wife beater. Like, he was just pointing out every horrible thing, but he swears he's not a wife beater.
Yeah.
And then even his exes came on and they were like, yes, he's a despicable person, but he's not a woman abuser. Like, they really came to bat for him, and they were like,
Well,
no,
speaking
sorry,
about,
we're gonna go with the.
With all the drama going on in the celebrity world, what do you think about this whole Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears action
All right.
going on?
This is what I think about it, because when that CD, and you love that CD.
Oh, one of the best CDs ever.
You were 7 years old, and
Ever.
you'd be,
Of
I'm
all
bringing
time.
sexy back. Like, you were playing that CD. That CD.
Did you see his Instagram post from
No.
his? So he released an Instagram post a couple days back. This is what triggered really everything was this post, because he apologized in this post to Janet Jackson and to Britney Spears. Was the apology.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Poor Janet Jackson got so much flack, and she wasn't the one who ripped off the thing to show the boobie. He was the one who ripped off the thing to show the boobie. So he's the one who rips off
That
the
was the
thing
best
to show
Super
the
Bowl
boobie.
performance ever, though. It hasn't been that good since that performance.
I think we were at my cousin Nicole's house, and I remember everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!" Or we could have been here. Like, we were. Always...
Here it is. All right, so I'll read it. I'll read it out loud for the listeners. So it's. I've seen the messages, tags, comments, and concerns, and I want to respond. I am deeply sorry for the times in my life where my actions contributed to the problem, where I spoke out of turn or did not speak up for what is right. I understand that I fell short in these moments and in many others, and benefited from a system that condones misogyny and racism. I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson, both individually, because I care for and respect these women, and I know I failed. I also feel compelled to respond in part because everybody involved deserves better, and most importantly, because this is a larger conversation that I wholeheartedly want to be a part of and grow from. The industry is flawed. It sets men, especially white men, up for success. It's designed this way. And as a man in a privileged position, I have to be vocal about this. Because of my ignorance, I didn't recognize it for all that it was while it was happening in my own life, but I do not want to ever benefit from others being pulled down again. I have not been perfect in navigating all of this throughout my career. I know this apology is a first
Carlos,
step.
I've heard enough.
You've heard enough?
I've heard enough. You know what this is called?
What is this called?
I'm afraid of being canceled.
Oh.
That's what that's about.
Justin
He's
Timberlake.
afraid
JT.
of getting canceled because
JT.
he could be a saint now. But do you know what I saw today?
Where'd you
They're
see
trying to cancel David Letterman for an interview he did with Lindsay Lohan back in 2013. They were like, look at the way David Letterman was making fun of Lindsay Lohan when she was going in and out of rehab. It's from 2013.
Oh, well, they cancel everybody from.
Right, so
They
that
canceled-
back in
tells
1992.
me.
They
that
canceled
tells
the
me,
founding fathers.
Yeah, they did.
They did but this tells me he's afraid of being canceled because
Right.
that documentary's out with Britney and that whole CD. I remember when you were a kid and I was listening because you would play it all the time. I said, wow. I said, he's really ripping Britney a new one in that CD. Like the whole CD is like,
Yeah.
you're a whore, you're a bitch, you're the worst thing. saying, I'm so much better than you.
Yeah.
You ain't shit. Now I'm great. Like, you could tell that whole CD
Yeah.
was him being pissed off about Britney. Like, it was so obvious. And I even said it to people, and they're like, you think? Like, with that Crimea River. It was just awful. But now we're living in the cancel culture time.
Yeah.
So Justin's thinking, shit, that documentary just came out. People are going to start talking about what a douchebag I was when me and Britney broke up.
Let me
I'm
make
going to
sure I
get
get in there.
canceled. And then I ripped off and I sexually harassed a woman and
And
showed
I'm a
her
white
movie.
privileged male.
That is all I need to get in front of getting canceled. That's
Yeah.
what that is. That's
That's a protection blanket.
Exactly.
All right.
That's exactly
That's
what
an
that is.
interesting take, Coach.
Totally.
I like that.
Totally.
I like that take.
Justin's trying to make the right play and get in front of that shit before his ass is canceled. That's what he's doing.
Hey, that's a smart move, though. Because once you're canceled,
He's
it's
always
tough.
been. Listen,
Tough
he's a
to-
smart
unless you're
guy.
Charlie D'Amelio, it's tough to come back from that.
Listen,
You don't
he's
get
a
to come
smart
back.
guy. He's a smart guy, so he knows how to CYA. He's been doing this shit since the Mickey Mouse, right? Wasn't he in the Mickey Mouse Club? I mean, he's been doing this forever. This kid knows. He's a man now, but he knows the business.
Yeah,
So
he knows
he
the
sees the
business.
writing on the wall. That documentary came out, and he's like, I'm about to get canceled. So he's getting in front of it. That's what I think. Justin Timberlake, I still know you wrote the CD. That was very nasty to Britney. You could apologize all you want, but I know you did it. We all know you did it, and we were all blasting it in the car. All of us, we loved it. It was #1. I think you won Grammys. Everybody celebrated you ripping Britney. So, you know what? We should all be canceled.
Yeah.
We should all be
Well,
canceled.
speaking about being canceled, did you see the new New York Post article about being Fauci'd?
Oh
Did
my
you
God,
see
when
that
is this man gonna disappear? I
Well,
wish
no,
Trump
so
would have just freaking fired him.
Listen to this.
I
right?
can't
So,
take the Fauci. Oh, yeah.
what Fauciing is when you're dating a person and your significant other that you're dating finds that you're not taking the virus serious enough and they break up with you because you didn't take the virus
Thank
serious
God.
enough,
That's what
or
we
you
thank
weren't
the
wearing
lucky
you
stars.
weren't wearing your mask properly or whatnot, and they break up with you. Now that is when you've been Fauci'd. It's not you got dumped; it's you got Fauci'd.
You know, I almost got Fauci.
Oh, did you?
I almost got Fauci back when Gabe came home with the COVID from the McDonald's. And then your father was like wanting to put him at a separate table. Like, remember and I was like, Scott, we probably already got it. But Dad tried to Fauci me. He was mad at me. Remember we were playing
he
the
was trying to
Family
Fauci
Feud? I think he was going to Fauci me. But then, but then when we all came back with positive tests, it was over. It was over. He was already, you know, there was nothing he could do at that point. Herd immunity was how the villas were handling this problem. We did the Dr. Erickson back from last March that he said many will get it, few will die. I think we all have to accept in this country, we're all going to get it at some point. We
I don't
are.
like
It's
to
going to be
accept
like
that.
the flu. And, you know, unfortunately, it's going to be worse for some other people, but I agree with Dr. Erickson. Many will get it, few will die. That's, you know, but I almost got Fauci by Scott. But then the herd immunity, it happened so fast, you know. He was just like, I'm stuck with her.
Oh, I know. Oh God, I'm so sick of this COVID thing. I really am. I'm so done.
I honestly, I can't take it anymore.
It's
We're
just-
going to come on the 1 year anniversary.
We are. We're coming up, and it has no. I mean,
Friday the
you had
13th.
Biden now saying that
The new strain.
Well,
That's
no,
what's
there's
getting me
7. There's
nervous.
7 new strains now, according to the New York Post posted an article that they said so. There's seven new variants have popped up in the United States. The scientists are saying that it's much more contagious and much more deadly, of course.
Oh, God.
We have to double mask now. A new double mask policy starts today. So when you go out, make sure you're wearing 2 masks.
I'm not
instead
wearing
of
2
one.
masks. I already have a
Well,
bad
they
enough
can throw,
rash
they
around
can
your
throw
mouth.
you out.
I
for
have
not wearing
rashes
2
over
masks.
here.
They can throw
Rashes
you
over
out.
here. I have the freaking
They can toss-
immunity.
they can toss
I
you.
can't give it.
Well,
I can't get it. Why do I even have to wear a mask?
2 masks.
They should be like, listen, if you had the COVID, don't wear a mask, so that way other people could see that you survived the COVID, and that maybe that'll bring some mental health to people.
No.
You know, like maybe people will say, you know what? Wow, there are a lot more people who had COVID than I thought, and they made it. They're not dead. They're alive. They're fine. They're okay. You know, like, I'm so tired of this bullshit. And I'm so tired of the hypocrisy. I'm so tired of the hypocrisy. I'm not going to get into it because I'm not going to throw people under the bus, but you know who you are and you're full of shit. And I know it and you know it. But the difference is that I just own it.
Yeah.
I own it. You know, but I'm not like going on Facebook saying one thing and then taking, you know, trips and doing another thing. That's all I'm saying. But I'm just,
right.
I'm so...
You're absolutely right.
I'm so over it. I really am so over it. And I'm, you know, listen, I don't want to hurt old people. I don't want anybody to die.
I don't want to hurt old people either, but at some point you have to be like, look, if you're old and you don't feel safe, then don't leave. We'll get you what you need. But where we have to get to a place now where it's like we have to start taking care of the young people. We can't punish all these young people and, you know, hurt a younger generation because we have to take care of, you know, the old farts. I'm sorry.
Well, all I know is that there are a lot of people who I think love being quarantined. There are a lot of people who love this whole lifestyle. And, you know, we're just going to have to deal with it until people, you know, start to not deal with it. You know, in Florida, they are handling it a lot different than they are up here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wish my kid could go to school. I'm so frustrated that my kid is still going to school twice a week. She should be in school 4 days a week at least.
Yeah.
Actually 5 days a week. But
No,
then listen
5
to
days a
this,
week.
right?
It should be 5 days.
So because of the way that the calendar's falling, the snowstorms, this, that, and the other thing,
Right.
the whole point is that Monday, Tuesday is for the blue cohort. Then they need the whole day Wednesday off to disinfect the whole school. So then Thursday, Friday, the orange cohort comes in. And then the weekend, the school gets disinfected. So that's the whole cycle. So I get an email last week, and the email says, you know, this week, meaning this week, Thursday, the blue cohort is going to go to school.
Yep.
And then Friday, the orange cohort is going to go to school. Where is the disinfecting day? Are you going to tell me that overnight the janitor is going to have to work like Nick Cage did in that Willy movie from the minute the doors close till 7 o'clock in the morning, disinfecting that entire school the whole night?
Yep.
Am I supposed to believe that? Or am I starting to get the drift? Like, even they know.
Well, you know what's also shit too is those whole blue cord people, because, you know, it was the orange cohort, the first half of the
Olivia
year,
got
got fucked over like all the time.
She
like,
got
all
gypped
the time
all
they
the
were getting
time.
fucked over.
Shit,
and
Thanksgiving.
now, Thanksgiving,
The
Christmas,
snowstorms, Christmas time. Like, she got.
she was getting gypped all the time. Where even when they had that Spirit Week, she didn't even get to go into Spirit
And
Week.
she was so
because she
upset.
got gypped. And now it's like, all right, well, look. At this point, they were, you know, the blue cohort was just like, oh, you know, it'll come back to us at some point. It'll come back to us. But now it's the blue cohort's turn to not get to go into school for a week. And it's like, whoa, how fucking dare you? My kid's going into school. The orange cohort can fucking give us a day.
Right.
It's like, you can't have it both ways. You can't bitch like that.
And also the cleaning.
Yeah.
Like, this is your policy. According to your policy, the school needs to be closed for the 24-hour period before the other kids can come into it, but I guess not this week, so that way the blue cohort get an... Like,
Yep.
it's like, just open the schools already. And then half the people don't feel safe with the schools being open.
Yeah.
Let them stay home. More room for us. You know what I mean? So the people who don't want to go to school get to stay home, and then they can just do the online
Well,
learning
that's-
all week.
Yeah.
And then the kids who want to go to school, let them go to school, and they can go to school all week. And because you have half and half feeling so differently, you probably won't get the kind of crowds that you're expecting at the school. And the kids who really need to be in school 5 days a week, and the parents who work from home who need their kids in school.
I know a lot of kids will probably end up being like, I want to go to school with my friends, and then you have the fight between the parent and the kid.
Too
and it's
bad,
like,
you
oh,
know,
you
but-
can't go into school.
Just open the schools, though. I mean, I've had it. The other towns are open. But why is our town not open? Like, just open up the schools. I can't take it anymore. We're going
No,
to
I
be
know.
in March. And then I have Gabe graduating from high school.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel so bad for these kids. Like, they got completely gypped of a whole year. And now whenever I hear Dr. Fauci and I hear these people, well, no, there's a new strain and this and that, I'm like, you know what? They're just laying the groundwork for this year, just throw it away. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not really listening to the science. We say we're listening to it, but this year we're going to throw it away. We already have it in our minds. This is how we're doing things.
It's
And
such
even-
shit. It really is such shit.
But they contradict their own policies.
All the time.
And it's just, so, okay, okay, and we're all supposed to pretend like we don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I just feel bad because my kid's going to go away to college and that's it. I mean, unless we have another shutdown where they'll send him home. Usually, like, I hardly ever saw you your first year of college. You're always at school. Like, you had a very busy life. And I don't know. So I have a feeling that COVID is going to be with us probably into the fall. God willing, in the fall, they will open up the schools. 100%. God willing.
We'll see.
You don't think so? You think they're going to drag it out even more?
I don't know. I can't stand these people. They're really just, they can never figure it out.
And then what happens to the poor people? Like today I'm reading an article about a woman who got arrested because she left her 10-year-old and 2-year-old in a motel room. So it sounds like she's homeless and living like in a welfare motel type situation.
Yeah.
And she had to go work in a pizzeria. I know she's not going to work in that pizzeria so she has money for mani-pedi. She's going to work in that pizzeria so she has money for her 2 kids.
No, correct. Yeah.
And they arrested her and put her in jail. And that story made me so angry. Because first of all, when I was 10, I was babysitting my sister all the time.
Yeah.
In all honesty, at 10 years old, I'm sorry to tell you, but the poor kids, they know how to babysit because they don't have the luxury of having the babysitter, having a nanny. It's a totally different world. So I used to have to bring my sister home. I'd have to open the apartment up for us to go in the apartment ourselves. And I always babysat at 10 years old. Like, it wasn't that big. There were tons of kids on the Lower East Side. That's how it was. But this mom is trying to bring home the bacon, and they put her in jail. And then there are people who are doing worse things get out of jail. No problem. And they're saying that that's child endangerment. Like, that really pissed me off today.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do these parents do who need money to work? Their kids aren't in school. They need to make money. What are we doing? And then Congress is taking their freaking sweet time. I thought Biden was going to pass something right away, but instead they have the freaking, let's go after Trump.
Yeah,
we have to go after Trump.
We gotta go after him. Yeah.
What happened to getting the money out to these poor people?
Because the Democrats are liars. They're not for the people, and that's what drives me nuts. It's like those people that they live in the urban communities. They're like, oh, we gotta vote Democrat because the Republicans aren't for us. They're not for us. It's like, what the fuck are the Democrats doing for you? What are you getting? You're not doing shit. Exactly.
Trump tried.
They're flipping it out. They're flipping out, going after Trump because cheating and stealing the office wasn't enough. Then it's like, I gotta make sure this guy can never see the light of day again.
They're not going to be happy till he's dead.
Yeah, they really aren't.
And even after he's dead, they'll probably go to his grave and piss and spit on it too. Because it's never going to be enough for these people.
No.
They have so much hatred in their hearts. Where does the hatred lead? From the devil.
Yep.
I'm just saying, if you have that much hatred in the heart, you need to take Ash Wednesday and really think about your spirit and your soul and what kind of person you want to be, because that is not healthy at all, the way that they hate this man. So Biden's president, he signs fucking 40 executive orders. He couldn't do one thing for the people who are starving, for the people who don't have money, for the mothers living in a welfare motel.
Yep.
It really pisses me off. And I was thinking for the working parents. So what do you do now that your orange cohort kid is supposed to be on school on Thursday? And now it's like, listen, we flipped it. We flipped it. Now we're sorry, the Blues are going into school Thursday. Your kid's going to be home. What do you do if you're a working parent? Your boss has you by the short hairs.
You're shit out of luck.
Now
you're shit out of luck.
I just can't take it, Carlos. I can't take the insanity. It's like there's insanity all around me, and people are not having honest conversations where it's like, listen, life isn't fair. Blue cord heart, I'm sorry. You got gypped. The same way the kids didn't have Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving at school, you don't have President's Day and the day after, because we can't jerk around these parents who might be working Thursday and Friday. We just can't do it.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
And we need to clean the school. It wouldn't be healthy.
But no, obviously not.
It's just, I just can't take it anymore. It's really, we're living in such a crazy time.
We are.
I never in a million years thought, I have to say the only blessing that I really gotten out of it is being able to spend more time with you. And I love my Valentine's yesterday. Thank you so much. It was so wonderful.
You deserve one. Everybody deserves a little Valentine's treat.
I know, I loved it. Thank you.
I'm glad that you got it. And, I hope we're moving in a direction where we figure it out, but I know we're not. But it's just...
Moving. Operative word. We need to be moving.
Yes. Yes, that is the operative word. All right, well, Coach.
How long have we been on?
We've been
I've
on
been
for
having
an
a lot
hour,
of
hour
fun.
and 4 minutes now.
Really?
Yeah.
Hour and 4 minutes. show.
I think this was a great show. I had a lot of
I
fun.
think so too. I think we had a blast. I had a blast. You know, I wish we didn't have computer trouble in the middle of the show, but I think I know a way where I could take the audio from the YouTube video and post it on Spotify. So I'll look into that for our people that like to listen in the car and on the car rides home. And I know we had like 1 or 2 viewers the whole time. So
Oh,
thank you
really?
For watching the show with us
Thank
today.
you.
And, you know, again, this will be posted on our YouTube channel. I'll grab the audio. I'll post it on our Spotify. And we'll see you guys next Monday.
All right, see you next week.